All right. See how this goes. Pretty sure I'm streaming now. Yeah. All right, everyone. This is, well, is I, Robert. My name is Robert Ginito. I am one of the founders for the Genius Smart Financial Contract. And I've got some updates for you all. Just out of nowhere in the morning, in the early morning, just doing some updates just for the heck of it. See if I got any drop frames. I can't believe I barely have any drop frames. That's awesome. Okay, so got 4K going. Decided I'm only going to stream to YouTube. I'm not going to go stream on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. And I'm here to give you some updates. So, once again, I founded the Genius Smart Financial Contract. Been working my butt off on that. Been working with many people with that for the last year and a half. I have been in the cryptocurrency industry since pretty much the beginning. I first got into Bitcoin almost 12 years ago, and I had been a corporate officer for many different areas of the cryptocurrency industry, such as mining, Bitcoin mining, and other kind of mining, and in cryptocurrency web services that focused on adoption for cryptocurrencies and fiat on ramps, peer-to-peer buying and selling. And I worked with the Dash Core Group to help them to get to number 3 in the coin market cap. And that was a lot of fun. All right, so fast forward for a while, since about 5 years ago, I started researching this whole genius thing. But researching well, 5 years ago, I realized, you know what? We can program money. So why don't we program money to do what we want it to do? We want money to be a good store of value for ourselves. We want it to store our value. We don't want it to lose value. And preferably we want it to appreciate in value. So I and many other people in the decentralized finance world believe that it's possible to program an asset or to program something that mimics value and holds value to where it grows value over the time. And that can be very useful for humanity, especially when you give humanity a level playing field to use a resource that we all have access to help us grow our value, and that's time. So Genius is one of the few time-weighted like staking tokens, or time-weighted being that while people are using a token to transfer value back and forth with one another, to trade value back and forth with one another, people are able to lock up their value, or people are able to amplify their value, or people are able to get a return on their investment or get a return on their extra tokens, by using time. So time is a stronger weight. There are very few cryptocurrencies that have done this before. Where Bitcoin mining, like if you're doing Bitcoin, you can get more Bitcoin, you can mine for Bitcoin, and your hash rate is a weight. Your hash rate is a weight that gives you a better probability of mining for more Bitcoin. And then today here, well, when you're mining for Bitcoin, of course, keep in mind you needed technical knowledge, you needed equipment. You eventually needed bigger and bigger and more equipment and more electricity, but you needed technical knowledge. And now here with the decentralized finance revolution, which I view it kind of like America's 1776 all over again, the decentralized finance revolution, and getting control of our money supply, getting control of our finances, being sovereign to our finances, I guess we say that. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. But after a while, you had different staking tokens coming around where all you needed to do to earn rewards from the network and to reward the network, or to give something valuable to the network and earn rewards, kind of like Bitcoin mining. So you needed to, the more tokens you had, the more weight you had. So the more rewards you would get. Now, this wasn't very fair for people who, say, didn't have very much of the token to begin with. I guess you could say this isn't fair for people who did not already establish um, their money. They didn't have a lot of finances. They weren't rich. So they weren't privileged in some sort of way. And then in the future, or later, go on, you had something come around called HEX, and HEX is great. A lot of Hexicans in the community are pretty upset about HEX's price performance and pretty upset about the promise that it was designed for the number to just go up, which I think HEX did a great job of doing that. And I think HEX was very innovative and awesome. But so, with HEX, how did you get more of the reward pool? How were you able to mine for more rewards? Well, the amount of time that you promised to lock up your tokens, the amount of time was used as a weight. Now here we have the Genius token. And with Genius, it's also a time-weighted reward system. And Genius, though, it also focuses on incentivizing users to make different actions. Now you can go down to the description here, look at the white paper, read the white paper. That will give you a lot of information about that. But also go into the Telegram community. The link is also at the bottom, t.me/GeniCrypto, GENI Crypto. And you can ask questions there. And I'm in that room often. So what's new? What's new? And how long has this stream been so far? How long have I been talking about? I guess for 7 minutes I've been talking about this, but I want to give you all an update. It's really early in the morning, and I've been working all night, and the developers for the Genius Smart Financial Contract have also been working their tails off. All right, so here's some updates. Recently, there was a Genius conference. It was a private Genius conference, and for this private Genius conference, and I heard it was recorded. Like, there's a recording online right now, but I heard there was like a really nice recording that was done, so that's awesome. I want to upload that to this channel. But so there was a private Genius conference, and I don't know how many people were there. It was small. It was like 30 people, at least 20. And this was focused on, how these Genius holders could protect their tokens, like how to responsibly store their tokens, like using cold storage hardware and best practices when you're storing coins. And actually, this is really important for everyone. If you're watching this video and you haven't looked at different if you haven't looked at different good practices to make, or you haven't invested in a hardware wallet, go ahead and check out these options. This is something you want to do. So this is important because the security of the users does have a big part in the tokens ecosystem. So here, some announcements were done, I think. I don't remember, but I spoke there for a bit. Digital Diogenes from the Genius community also spoke there, and he is excellent. He's hilarious too, and he's just a good-hearted soul, and that's the kind of people that we need in crypto. We need more people like that. All right. Now, a Genius development update. I have a feeling that Genius is going to be the only thing out there that did a sacrifice, like a crypto sacrifice, and got launched. That would be pretty cool. And if that happens, well, there's a lot of projects out there that, to be fair, are waiting on Pulse Chain to get released. And also, to be fair to Pulse Chain, the endeavor or the journey or the task of making a blockchain is extremely, extremely, extremely difficult. You can't just waltz up and say, hey, what's up, Vitalik? Hey, what's up, Vlad? I'm going to make a fork of your Ethereum. and I'm going to, in my team, we're gonna beat you to all of your features. Yeah, we're gonna get there faster than you, and we're gonna change your consensus mechanism. You don't just waltz up and do that with a blockchain because it's extremely difficult. And some of the best people in the world for blockchain development are already working on Ethereum and um, uh, other blockchains that have deep financial pockets. Blockchain development's not easy. It takes a lot of knowledge from a lot of different areas. And to be frank, Vitalik and his crew are geniuses. They are extremely intelligent. Um, I had talked with Vitalik on many occasions, and that bastard will only talk with me in Mandarin Chinese because he found it long ago. Last I talked with him was long ago, like years ago, and he found out I spoke Mandarin Chinese, and he just gave up on English with me. Made me very sad, but it was still great talking with them. But they are geniuses. So here, what I'm getting into is that Pulse Chain. Um, that yeah, we may beat Pulse Chain even to development because making a blockchain is very hard. Now, I cannot wait for Pulse Chain to come out. I'm really looking forward to it. But because of the fact that Pulse Chain is delayed, and because so many people want inexpensive fees for transacting, Genius is going to be launched on the Binance Smart Chain. Genius is also going to be launched on Ethereum. And Genius is going to be on Pulse Chain no matter what. But really looking forward to that, and really looking forward to growing and uh, helping the Pulse Chain community grow. Because Pulse Chain, I believe in it, and I hope it does what it aspires to do. Because I think that's gonna be great. All right, so development update, right? Development update. We are. How do you say this? What's the best way to put this? The implementation part is done. There are some functions that we may not do that are going to assist marketing purposes, that are going to assist the community who wants to market Genius. But for the most part, implementation is done. Now, what do I mean by for the most part? What's next? What's next? Uh, we have gas optimization to do. Um, a lot of the development has not been done for the sake of gas optimization. Uh, a lot of it has been done for gas optimization, especially our procedures themselves, but very obvious gas optimization hasn't been done yet, like bit packing and stuff like that. Bit packing and other things that most people wouldn't understand. So let me move on from that. We've so for working with a third party company, we've been proactive with this, and we've hired an independent security auditor, a vulnerability researcher who is specialized in Solidity and smart blockchains. And this person is amazing. This person has just recently started with us. So not only are we going to have an independent security auditor, we're also going to have a third party like company audit. So our independent security auditor has not been involved with the development. They're strictly going to go line by line and focus on a lot of issues before we ship our contract out to a larger company to then get audited again. So that's cool. That's a huge part of this. Our UI, our Web3 UI for Genius, it looks sweet. And everybody working on Genius, once Genius is launched, pretty much everybody except for the HEX people are gonna come out and say, "Hey, we worked on it. Cool. Ask us anything." Because right now we have a strict no PR policy, no public relations policy. But the developers cannot wait to meet you all. And we've got some rock stars on our team. We have some decentralized finance rock stars. One individual works for a very well-known cryptocurrency company at a very high-level position, and it's really cool the story behind why people are working on Genius. The tokenomics, the tokenomics, the tokenomics development team, which is myself and three others, really myself and the mathematician, we're working more together just to kind of prove some things and have a set of eyes re-going over how implementation is doing with this stuff. So all right, so hey, a lot of words to say that development is going awesome. It has been very smooth the whole time. And I really think Genius is going to be launched before any other sacrifice. So that's pretty cool. Uh, yeah, no launch date is announced yet. Of course, a launch date is going to depend a lot on the security review, the third party company. Excuse me. And our UI looks sweet, and I think you're all going to really enjoy it and like it a lot. There's two parts of Genius that have been intentionally withheld from the white paper that none of y'all know about, and for two reasons. One, uh, one is that as much research as we had done on one part of it in mechanics, we had just had a really hard time believing that it was true. Uh, because when you incentivize human behavior and human actions for an end goal, and you make a smart contract to do that, it's really hard to explain. But not only is it's not hard to explain. It's just we wanted to look at it privately some more before openly talking about it. Wanted to research it more before openly talking about it. And to be frank, discussions on that had happened a lot earlier. And another item that is not in the white paper is just one that I think is really cool, and I think it's better to be a surprise. I think it's going to be much better surprise for everyone. And all I'm going to say is it's going to help people. It's going to help people in the DeFi world. It's going to help people make the best of a bear market situation. So yeah, Genius will be launching at this bear market. I think this bear market probably has 2 to 2.5 years left. Could be 3, could be less than that. Could be 6 months. It's really hard to tell. I mean, there's so many different influencing cycles with this. But hey, I could go on more talking about these things. Let me also say that the very beginning of Genius, so many people wanted to know about the very beginning of Genius. That story is an incredible story. It's also an incredible story that didn't get written up about by by journalists or people who write. It's something that about 50 people experienced, and it's a pretty amazing story. But part of that story is coming back. So when Genius is first launched, there's going to be a liquidity deal, liquidity provider deal. And if you're interested in this, please come to the main chat room on Telegram, the Jenny Crypto chat room, and say, hey guys, I'm interested in this liquidity deal, this liquidity provision deal. What's up? Because while with Genius, the best move is probably going to be uh, to mine for Genius. But then again, there's people out there who don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. And there's also people out there who just want to learn about decentralized finance. And hey, if you don't know much about decentralized finance, you're going to be interested in this liquidity deal because you will learn more about decentralized finance with this. Anyways, this liquidity deal, it's going to incentivize liquidity providers. Now, when you're providing liquidity very early for a project or for a product, or when you're providing liquidity on a decentralized exchange for like a new crypto, there's a lot of chicken and egg problems to be handled. For example, you can't have buyers if you don't have sellers. You can't have sellers if you don't have buyers. If there's not a central place to come to for that. So this problem, even many new coins run into this problem, or new tokens run into this problem, and it can be solved. It can be solved. It can be solved. So there's this incentive. And really all it says is if you provide liquidity, there's going to be Genius incentives for that. This isn't something operated by the smart contract. It is something that the Genius community, that many whales in the Genius community will be incentivizing and dropping coins to liquidity providers. But I hope that makes sense. And hey, I'm super tired. Oh, am I tired? No, I'm not tired. I'm still excited. But I hope you enjoyed this quick update, um, and I hope you have a good morning. I don't know. Oh my God. Someone actually is here watching and asked me a question. Keen for an update on Jenny. I see there's a free claim on Jenny's sacrificers. Wait! And can you help us by teaching us what makes a safe free claim? What makes a safe free claim? Well, one thing that makes a safe free claim is knowing what the smart contract function is going to do that you're going to execute. There's probably a better answer for that too. But hey, thank you, BRS. Thanks for asking about that. Um, as far as other updates, I can't wait to give you all updates in the future. The technology team, myself, through me, will be giving weekly updates from here on out, and that might even turn into every updates every 2 to 3 days. I look forward to updating you more on Genius. I look forward to Genius's launch. I think this is the most exciting thing in crypto, and about 1,000 people agree with that. All right, hey, have a good night, everybody, or have a good morning, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.